Welcome back everybody, it's DestinysJesus here. Today we've got a new video and basically breaking down how Noahreyli and Vadeal were able to W key their way to winning EU DreamHack finals. I'm breaking down how they take their pre-fight positioning, how they set up their roles during fights so you can apply that to your own duo gameplay, and also how they were so effective at pinching and closing out fights quickly in the grand finals versus really good pro players. As always, make sure to check out my box fighting masterclass. I'm going to have a full video on that, and make sure to send this video to your duo. I'm going to have a map at the end for practicing duo fights and also a couple different things for communication as well throughout. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and also send it to your duo as I said. You have to think of yourself as two different roles when you're actually W king. One player is going to go ahead and go on the initial wall take. That would be the guy taking first contact. You only want the better mechanical player doing that. And then have the other guy acting as support. So I'm going to be the close contact player here, just taking smart edits from above, trying to make sure that I don't get peeked too hard, while Bloomy's going to go for the spray in from the side. And wait for Bloomy. A really useful combo in the situation is I've got edits, so Benji comes a lot, and then my opponent can go for a full box, and then a free kill from there. So Bloomy in that situation is just spraying for me as I go in. In a 2v2 situation, obviously you're going to play this a little bit more passively, as there's going to be more people around and you need to make sure that you cover your angles as well. So this is just kind of how your pre-fight positioning should be going in duos. A lot of teams mess this up where they just try to initiate head on and that turns into a build fight and they don't really get that advantage straight up. So what these guys do is actually quite nice, is they rift towards dead side up here on the north side, and they need a kill for Surge into this grand finals. So what they're going to go ahead and do is play this pretty standard beam angle up on the house, very standard stuff, but just the patience that they have here to not move at all. You can either do this where you both sit on top of the house together, or just behind something, or just play in a bush or something, waiting for a beam to initiate a fight. Or you can do a split angle. The split angle works really nicely because you're guaranteed a knock pretty much if the guy rumbles between you. So how that would work would maybe one would be up on the house, one would be in the bush or behind the tree or something, and then you'd wait for the opponent to come towards you to try farming or looting or even hitting this rift, which is what they're playing for. So they both immobilize themselves behind the house. They're just going to wait here for a long period of time. Again, the way they're doing this is just playing on this angle where they know the opponent's going to have to rotate through, get that initial beam, now they get the initial knock, and it's a pretty free fight from here, just because they can guarantee to get the knock and the other guys going to have to disengage. In this next fight, I want you to pay attention to the positioning that Noah and Vadeal go for here. So you can see they're both initiating on this team over this way that they know is going to be somewhat shambles just because of their position off spawn, and also the fact that Vadeal and Noah both have this loot imbalance where they've got spazzes and scars. It's a pretty free fight to take. One thing they don't do, however, is just rush in straight away and trying to get over eager and get on the walls. So what Vadeal does is takes a very smart angle on top, and he's also taking first contact here. This is really important if you're the guy taking first contact on the enemy players that are boxed up, or even in a build fight type situation, right? Is you don't want to initiate, just jump in and try to get damage. You want to let your other teammate, which is Noahreyli in this example, you see how wide his angle is here? He's going the whole way around, and he's just setting up the scar to go for as much damage as possible. Luckily, this player tries to go for a shockwave out as Vadeal drops on the wall. You can see how cautious Vadeal's being. He's not really just instantly swinging right. He's dropped and he's sprayed, and then he's going for his pickaxe swing as well. Go back to Noah. He's got this really nice split angle off to the side, and they're able to get the free knock, and this is a really good surge for them for the rest of the game. This is a really nice example of box fighting and how to set up properly to finish a box fight as quick as possible. So Vadeal hits that snipe, which kind of initiates the key here, so they're going to go ahead and ramp over. They know at this kind of point in the zone, especially since they're on third edge, again, they're not really keying center map unless it's off spawn. They're always keying on these edges of the zone where they're unlikely to get third partied from behind them or get flanked. So they build up, go for the initial height take, which is Noah. He's just making sure he gets height. And then here he sets up in a very nice safe angle where Scout's forced to go disengage and go downwards. Now look what Vadeal does. This is actually really nice, as he kind of swaps up his angles several times throughout this fight. So he initiates from this side, uses his AR to take the wall there from above, and then go for a blueprint edit from above as well. So he doesn't get committed into the box where he can get shot at or double peeked. Now he swaps his angle up again, right? So the opponents know there's two players coming from that side. He swaps up, blocks off all of his angles, blocks off this left-hand exit there, so the enemies can't go out that way. Gets this pickaxe, nice safe right-hand peeks. Then he goes for an AR shoot again. In duos, you need to be using your AR so much more to take walls. You can't just risk running up to the wall and taking it. Just think of your AR or your SMG as a long-range pickaxe, so you can go for this wall take for the whole way back here. Goes for a nice blueprint edit again, gets the knock on Falconry, gets the blueprint edit again, and gets that cone in the box, and now they just spray down Sky and take him out. That was a really nice key in that whole fight time. Even versus very stacked enemies with a lot of mats, was very minimal, just because of how they swapped up the angle several times. Vadeal was coming from up this way, then he swaps around to here, playing those long range angles with the AR where it's very hard to track the audio of where he's coming from. This is a really nice wall take angle that I was practicing in the arena that you can go ahead and do whenever you're W-king your duos. Obviously make sure your duo is pinching from the different side at the same time. So what you're going to go ahead and do is block off that left hand wall there so you can't get Ryan peeked, and then you've got this really nice meaty angle from above. where you can go ahead and pickaxe and replace very safely. The guy can't low ground peek you because you'll be aiming your pump out straight into him, and he can't really hide behind the edit, and you also can't double edit on you because you'll be ready there with your pump out. So you can get the wall take, really nice angle to go for, and at this point you can just pinch in with your duo like we did here. This is basically a perfect fight for Noahreyli and Vadeal to take. Again, they're very isolated towards this top side, and you can see here, as Vadeal comes in for this first contact in the side, Noahreyli's playing this typical lurk. He's trying to go for that beat from the side, get some free damage, and it also makes it very safe for Vadeal to do this play. These enemies can't really go for a box up in Vadeal because he's playing from that horizontal layer above, and he can go for a beam at the same time. A really useful rule of thumb for box fights, especially duo box fights, is always to stay at least half a layer above your opponents. That's either playing on top of a cone or playing towards upwards or a ramp when you're on a wall. These guys take this mission and they only play for these floor takes. And also the pinch they have here, right? Noahreyli's going for these floor placements. He's building everything around his opponents, blocking off all these angles, making it so hard for them to rebox. While Vadeal's just on this long horizontal angle, spraying through. He's spraying this way to either try to take that bloom fight where he can get that damage, or he can force them into where Noahreyli's set up and go for that beast control over that side. So Noahreyli's going for the sprays, trying to go for all these edits, going for this exit control all around the boxes here, being very annoying. Vadeal this whole time is just spraying and trying to let Noahreyli do the heavy work. They're both not trying to take these pump angles together, they're trying to force these opponents into going for a play. Now when Link goes for this build-up play, not a bad play admittedly, he gets on very quickly just because of the fact that Noahreyli's in that really nice angle where he's above. Now he gets this initial chunk, you're going to see they come back and play the same angle together. Now they realise, what's the point of us both pushing forward through the box there? Vadeal's going to go ahead and play through like this, goes to the spray, the wall take, right hand peek, very standard stuff. And at the same time, Noahreyli's going for this perfect exit control from above, gets the double edit down, and gets a free kill just like that. This is a really nice play that you can do in duos. Basically what Vadeal and Noahreyli do here, they know there's a team likely to be coming for a vault, so what they go ahead and do is wait for the first one to run past. They just play silent, don't make any audio, and they don't want to take first contact on this guy as he runs through. Let him run through, completely don't pay attention to him. Now the second one's unlikely to have his guard up, so they get this initial beam. Vadeal really smartly blocks off the vault, so Podside and this guy is isolated from each other. Jump in, this is the Angels payoff, get the free knock here. Vadeal re-engages on the second one, gets a free chunk from the top of the vault, and it's a pretty free wipe. So they get that 14, that was decently stacked on loot as well, and they get all of that Storm Surge as well for the rest of the game. This is probably the best map to practice your 2v2 fights. It's called Panfield Realistics, code up on the screen there. So what you're going to go do is load this and then get another duo that you can 2v2. And also make sure that you don't turn it into a build fight where you're just cranking for height and using loads of mats on spawn. Have one of you boxed up and then play defensively, or another team boxed up and you play aggressively on them. It's really good to practice your fights and how you're actually going to play out your roles. And you can also choose to box fight loot or just RNG loot as well.